This event is a great opportunity for industry professionals and the Alberta Securities Commission to come together and discuss the issues affecting capital markets, both in Alberta and worldwide. And it's an opportunity to have frank discussions about how we can work together to keep our capital market dynamic, responsive, and competitive.
In the past year, Alberta's capital market was not spared from the significant challenges that affected communities worldwide.
Policy is important here, and no one can get left behind. We have to make sure we have different players in our market. So then the question is, what do the companies do? One of the things they're doing is they are investing in other opportunities to reduce their GHG emissions, as well as other environmental improvements, because they think, and I believe they're right, this is important stuff now.
I'm very frustrated that ESG has become climate change. Where's the S and the G? How to define that S correctly and importantly, and think about diversity and inclusion and what that really looks like and what those metrics are. I think nobody's working on that, and it's like it doesn't exist. So I think we should change our priorities and get on that, because we can solve those issues.
And this is a generation that grew up on World of Warcraft. They're very well organized. They understand leadership. They understand the power of defeating the game. They really understand the rules of the game, and they took on the game. And that's really what happened there. And it's interesting. It's not sustainable. Regulators are alarmed and worried, and they absolutely should be.
I believe that when we are tested during times of stress, it's best to ask, how can we help our community?
Frankly, I think reaching a net zero economy is going to be the Apollo project of our time. It is going to take an all hands on deck approach from business, the scientific community, technological, as well as the financial markets.
Women are forecast to control 2/3 of Canada's wealth by 2030. So that points to an economic imperative and opportunity that women are going to be equal in all matters financial. That's where financial feminism comes from.
Every one of us on this call have an opportunity to contribute in our own way.
I fundamentally believe when you have a diversity of perspective, you end up with better decisions. I think you need to push what you mean by diversity. So 5 years ago, that meant that we had women in the boardroom. But why didn't we see further and say, well, now we should be thinking about Indigenous people and people of color? I actually think an area of diversity that we're not talking about, that we really need to think about, is actually on age as well.
By facilitating this conversation, our hope is that you take your insights from today and leverage your own skills and energy to make a difference.
People often forget, and we tend actually not to talk about our positive history in this province, of how good we really have been, whether that is on CCUS or recent emerging hydrogen, or looking back at reduced flaring. There's no question we're leaders. What we're seeing now, though, is there's actually an opportunity to capitalize on that.